Hi, this is Rebecca from RebeccasTreasures.com. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet the Sweetheart Kisses stitch I personally designed. Supplies you'll need to work this stitch: two choice colors of either thread or yarn. I'm going to be using worsted weighted yarn in this video tutorial. A hook, any size works. A 5mm is used in this tutorial. Some techniques you should be familiar with are switching colors, carrying yarn or thread underneath your stitches, and drop stitches. If for whatever reason you're not familiar with any of these techniques, not to worry. This tutorial is going to go slowly so you will be able to see very clearly just how to do all of the above. Before we can start working on the actual Sweetheart Kisses, you'll need to have 2 rows of single crochet. So go ahead and start in whichever fashion you prefer, whether it's with chains or foundation single crochet. If you're not familiar, you can see links in the video description below for more details. This video tutorial is starting with 21 stitches per row, but you can use any multiple of 7 stitches as you like. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with row 3 in just a minute. But before we do, I just wanted to go over a few things. This is the row where the hearts will be made, so you'll want to have your second color of yarn or thread ready to go. Also, you should note you will be switching back and forth between both colors in this row, and you'll need to carry the alternate color under your stitches so it is available when you need it. Alright, so here you'll see I've already got 2 rows of single crochet completed. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start row 3 by working a single crochet into the very first stitch so that we only have 2 loops left on our hook, like so. What we're going to do is we're going to drop the main color and pick up the heart color and make a loop and pull it through our single crochet to complete the stitch, and hereby successfully completing the color switch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to work the heart. In the heart color yarn, we're going to go ahead and we're going to yarn over, and we're going to skip 2 stitches and work a double crochet into the very next stitch, like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work a drop treble into the stitch below the double crochet we just made. So we're yarning over twice, and we're going to see here's where we made the double crochet, and here's where we're going to make our treble crochet into the stitch below. So we complete our treble crochet here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work a double crochet into the same stitch where we worked that other double crochet, right up here, like so. Now we're going to work a single crochet into the very same space, and now we're going to work another double crochet into that same space. Alright, now we're going to work another drop treble into the same space as we made the first drop treble. So right here is where we're going to work it. And to complete the heart stitch, we're going to go ahead and work one more double crochet into the same space as the last double crochet we made. So we're yarning over and push it over and try to get it through, and try to make sure you come out on the other end of the other stitches you've made, like so. See how it's kind of clear? And we're going to work our double crochet here. Now we've got 2 loops on the heart on the last stitch here, and we're going to switch back to our main color, like so. And now we're just going to continue carrying the heart color underneath, and we're going to skip 2 stitches. And now we're going to work 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches. Here we have 1. And on the second one, we're going to switch back to the heart color. So we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to drop the color and pick up the next one and pull through to complete the stitch, like so. You may need it to tighten a little bit just to get everything snug. And now we're going to go ahead and repeat the heart. So we're skipping 2 stitches and working our double crochet into the very next stitch. Now we're going to yarn over twice for a treble crochet, and we're going to work a drop treble into the stitch below the stitch we just made, right here. And again, we're going to work a double crochet into the same space as the first double crochet we made for this heart. And then a single crochet. And then another double crochet into the very same space. Now we're going to work another drop treble into the same stitch space as the first drop treble for this heart, right here, like so. Now we're going to work our final stitch for this heart, which is a double crochet into the same space as that last double crochet. So remember to just push the stitches over a bit and kind of wiggle it to make sure it comes out on the right side. And pull through for 2 loops on there, and we're going to switch back to our main color, which is green. And just give things a little tug, tighten, and skip 2 stitches, and work 2 single crochets again. Remember, on the second single crochet, we'll switch back to the heart yarn. So we drop, switch, and pull through, a little tug, and we skip 2 stitches and work a double crochet into the next one to start our next heart. And we're going to work our drop treble into the stitch below, right here. Then we're going to work our double crochet into the same stitch above. Followed by a single crochet. And another double crochet. Now we're going to do a treble drop into the same space as the first treble drop for this heart. And all that remains is 1 more double crochet for this heart into the same space as the last double crochet made, which is way back here. And again, just kind of wiggle through. Oops, didn't wiggle through right, so I'm going to insert again. There we go, that's better. Remember, with the last 2 loops on the hook, you drop the heart yarn and pick up that main color again and pull through to complete the stitch. And just give it a little tighten. Again, we skip 2 stitches and we'll single crochet into the very last stitch right here. Now we're just going to chain 1, and here's what the first row of hearts looks like. Alright, so now we're ready to start row 4, but before we get to it, I just wanted to go over a few additional notes. This is the row where we're going to make things even and go back to our original stitch count. In this row, you'll need to carry the alternate color, or otherwise the heart color yarn, underneath your stitches if you're working in rows, but only if you're working in rows. If you're going to be working your project in rounds, you will want to drop the alternate color or the heart yarn and only carry it up in the first stitch and leave it there and continue working without carrying it under the stitches. So let's go ahead and get started with row 4. Okay, so we left off row 3 with a chain 1. Now we're going to turn to start row 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet into the very first stitch, but we're going to wrap around and work around our heart yarn because we need to carry this yarn over to the other side, like so. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work a double crochet into the first available unworked stitch from the previous row. So it's going to be right here in this one. It's that skip stitch that we skipped in the previous row. So we're going to work a double crochet right here. And then we're going to work another double crochet into the stitch right beside it. So it's the next unworked stitch right beside it, like so. And we want to be very careful that we don't accidentally crochet into the heart stitch. We just want to work into that unworked stitch. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go under the yarn because we need to make sure we carry it, and we're going to pick up 2 loops from the back of this heart right here. It's not really important, it just needs to be in the center and towards the top. Just fix whichever one feels right, like so. And we're going to work a slip stitch right here, and remember we're working around this yarn to kind of hide it and tuck it in place. And now we're going to work a double crochet into the other side of the heart in the unworked stitches below it right here. So here's where the first one's going to go. The first available slip stitch on this side, stitch on this side, and we're going to work a double crochet right here, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the next unworked stitch right next to it, right here, like so. Remember to carry the yarn, heart yarn, as you work. And now we're going to work into the single crochets between the hearts. So we're working into the row where you would normally work, but into those single crochet stitches like so. And now we're going to go ahead and see, here's how it looks like. So it kind of pops out. And now what we're going to go ahead and we're going to repeat this across. So we're going to work into the unworked stitches with a double crochet right here, like so. Sometimes it gets a little stuck, so you have to kind of stretch it out or readjust your hook. And be careful again not to work directly into the heart stitches. You can work around the carried yarn, but be careful not to work in the heart stitches. So we're going to reinsert the hook here just to kind of get it right. Working on this side of the heart is a little more tricky, but it gets easier the more you practice. And I, for some reason, keep on picking up the heart stitch in this one. So let's try this again. Sometimes it helps just kind of pull it out of the way, like so. There we go. So we're working our double crochet, and now we're going to work a double crochet into the next unworked stitch right here on the side of the heart. And remember, just kind of pull the heart out of the way so you can crochet right in there. Again, we're working a double crochet. Sometimes you just have to wiggle it a bit. And now we're going to work a slip stitch into the back of this heart. So just pick up 2 loops from the back, and you want to kind of keep it invisible so it's not visible on the other side, like so. And remember to bring the yarn up and hide it underneath as you work. And now we're going to work a double crochet into the first available unworked stitch here, like so, and again into the next one. This side of the heart is always easier to work for some reason. And now we're going to single crochet into the single crochets in between the hearts. So there's 2 of them. So here's 1 and 2. And we're going to repeat again. So that's, again, we're going to double crochet into the first available unworked stitch from the previous row right here. Again, we're just going to pull that heart stitch out of the way so we can get around proper. There we go. We're going to wiggle it through and complete our double crochet. Now we're going to work a double crochet into the next unworked stitch from the previous row. Remember, just kind of push the heart stitch out of the way so you don't accidentally work into it. There we go. Now we're going to work a slip stitch into the back of the heart, picking up 2 loops so that it's not visible from the right side. Right now the wrong side is facing us. Slip stitch. And then we're going to work a double crochet into the next unworked stitch from the previous row right here on the other side of the heart. And again, another double crochet right next to it in the unworked stitch. Now all we have to do is single crochet into the last stitch, and chain 1. And here's row 4 completed. Okay, so our very first row of Sweetheart Kisses is completed, and now it's time to start repeating the rows. So for the next rows, rows 5 and 6, or any other repeat rows thereafter, we're going to go ahead and work 2 rows of single crochet only. Now it's important to note that you'll need to carry the alternate color underneath the first stitch for row 5 or the last stitch for row 6, so that way you're carrying them up the rows, but you won't need to carry it underneath the whole of the row, just in the first or the last stitch as required, as necessary as you come upon it. And this is just to make it so that it's available when you're ready to work the next heart row, and it also saves you from needing to weave in ends later, and it keeps it relatively hidden. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn so we can start the next row. And we're going to start a row of single crochet, but what we want to do is we want to carry this heart yarn up the row, so we're going to go ahead and single crochet around it for the very first stitch, like so. And now what we're going to do is we're going to push it back and push it over to the side and leave it on this side of the work. We're not going to carry it over this row, we just wanted to do it in the first stitch. And now we're going to single crochet across all the rest of the stitches of this row. So just work a single crochet into each stitch across, and see we're leaving the heart yarn to this other side, so that way it'll be on this side, which is where we'll need it when we're ready to start another row of hearts. But we want to leave it on that side, but we also want to carry it up the rows and kind of keep it a little bit as hidden as possible. So that's why we carried it up in the first stitch of this row. So we're just single crocheting across the row. Alright, we're coming to the end of the row here, just a couple more stitches. And now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to work a second row of single crochet, and we're going to go ahead and single crochet in each stitch across until we only have 1 stitch left. So go ahead and single crochet in each stitch across. Alright, so we're coming up to the end of this row. Remember, we have 1 stitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet to the last stitch, but we're going to carry the yarn upwards like so, so that it'll be ready for us in the next row. And we're going to go ahead and chain 1, and we're going to go ahead and turn. Okay, so before we end this tutorial, I just wanted to work part of row 7 with you. This row repeats row 3 and is the row that we're going to make some more sweethearts. Note, you will be switching back and forth between both colors in this row, and you'll need to carry the alternate color under your stitches so it's available when you need it. You will already know how to do this row since we already did it in row 3. It's only shown again so you can see what it looks like to work the next row of Sweetheart Kisses. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start working row 7, which is a repeat of row 3, but I wanted you to see what the repeat of row 3 looks like. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with a single crochet in the first stitch, and we're going to work around the heart yarn, And we're going to go ahead and switch to the heart yarn right away. And we're going to go ahead and start working the heart stitch. So we're going to skip yarn over and skip 2 stitches and work our double crochet into the very next stitch. And then we're going to work our drop treble into the stitch below from the previous round. So right here is where we're going to put it and work it and complete our treble crochet. And then we're going to go ahead and work a double crochet again into the same space as the double crochet previously made, followed by a single crochet, and then of course one more double crochet. Then we work the drop treble again into the same space as the last drop treble. And then we just work our last double crochet of the heart into the same space as the last double crochet made, and switch to our main color with the last 2 loops of the stitch on the hook. Remember just to give it a little tighten. We skip 2 stitches and then we single crochet 2, and then you're just going to go ahead and repeat this across the row until you finish, and then all you have to do is repeat those rows, and that's all there is to it. I hope you've enjoyed this stitch tutorial. Be sure to see the description box below for more details about this tutorial, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my newest tutorials. You can also find more goodies on my website at www.rebeccastreasures.com. Are you ready to do more with this new crochet stitch? Go ahead and try one of these free crochet patterns. Visit my blog at www.rebeccastreasures.com/blog. You can also find the links in the video description below. Thanks as always for watching. See you next time.